Hey everyone, welcome to AGT time. Tonight we're on season 16. What are we on? Semifinals 1.
Semifinals one,
Cody Patterson here
along with Jay Bach. This is the first of two semifinals, and then the finals, and then that's it for season 16. It was a pretty exciting episode. I'm looking forward to digging into it with you.
Yeah, so we're almost done. 2 weeks left. We're semifinals 1. We got semifinals 2 next week, then the finale. I'm just going to get it out there, Jay. I was disappointed in America this week in reference to the
Oh,
show.
I think America did just fine.
Okay.
Uh, I will say, the whole fun of doing this podcast with you, the whole fun of watching the show and watching the results is that we don't all have the same opinions, and there are surprises, and I'm different from you and you're different from the rest of America, so that it's okay that we're different.
I think that's fair. We'll kind of get into it, but the judges were pretty much telling us who's going to win this season, who's the best acts, but that really didn't reflect in America's voting this week.
No, very much some surprises, I would say. Uh, but I would say I'm a little proud of America. You took the judges' comments and you didn't let that necessarily influence your decisions on how you divvied up your votes. So good job, America.
Well, okay. Well, we'll kind of get into it. Do you want to go ahead and give the business, and then we'll get right into that?
Yeah, easy enough. You can reach us at AGT Time Pod. That is our Facebook, that's our Twitter, that's our Instagram, that's our email is agttimepod@gmail.com. That's where you want to get a hold of us. We would love it if you guys would reach out to us. Here is we're coming into the very final stretch of the season. We rate, review, and subscribe. That's what we would love from you. If you I just checked before we hopped on the recording here. No reviews since the potato lady reviewed our podcast.
Yeah, your quest to get reviews by giving reviews, more you're giving more pennies than people are taking pennies. Is that kind of the analogy there?
Yeah. I don't know. Right. I stopped by the gas station. My extra change goes right in that little drawer. At least my brown ones do. But no, seriously, we need the reviews if we want this podcast to grow. If you guys are appreciating what we're doing, please go out and give us a review. It really is the best way for us to continue to have some traction in making this. We have plans for off-season content. We have plans for bringing on more guests. Try and grow this a little bit, but drop us a review, give us those 5 stars. That's what we need.
Yeah.
And I will say that I did do a review this week. It's a podcast called Detours, and it is done by producers of Antiques Roadshow, and they take Antiques Roadshow moments or items, and they do a deep dive into the background of those items. So if you like Antiques Roadshow, if you like public television, it's a really, really interesting show. It's not something that I expected to find in the podcast world, but there's a niche for everything. And I remember in probably junior high discovering Antiques Roadshow and being like, this is a thing, like this is kind of cool. And it was, I don't know, Monday nights it was on, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna remember to turn into that because I enjoyed that. And now I've got the Detours podcast, the Antique Roadshow Detours podcast. It's one that you should tune into right after you review our podcast. Go subscribe to that one.
That's right. It's a requirement. You can't listen to that one until you review our podcast.
Right. Okay.
Yes. So have you ever done something like that, Jay? The Antique Road. Have you ever done anything what they do on that show? Have you ever done anything like that?
No, I don't have anything of any value.
Okay.
And I know it. but I do enjoy watching people discover that they have things of value. So,
What's the biggest valued item that you've seen them do?
oh geez, you know what? I don't remember the biggest value, but the one that I remember the most that like kind of pulled at my heartstrings a little bit was this dear old gentleman who had a glass jar of some sort that he said his grandma or great grandma or whoever it was used to keep like scraps of cloth in that jar, and it turned out to be some unique special historical piece that had some significant value, in the thousands of dollars at least. But the way that he teared up as they told him the significance of this piece, and the way that he reacted to it, just this, the guy had to be over 80 at least. It just really, that one really stuck with me. Something that the value, the monetary value of it didn't matter a bit, but
Right.
knowing that it had monetary value and it was so dear to him was just
Mhm.
something that really kind of pushed him over the top.
It had the monetary and the sentimental.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Not the
So
sentimentalists.
no, no.
Okay. No.
Sentimental value.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah, and every episode it seems like there's one or two of those just really surprising special moments that you get to kind of in the world of reality television. That is it's one of the godfathers of, or grandfathers even, of reality television. It's real people showing up and giving us real emotion. So that's my review for the week. And
Nice.
if you didn't come here to talk about Antiques Roadshow, I suppose we should probably move on to AGT
Yeah. Yeah.
tonight.
Talking about emotion. Let's talk about Peter Rosalita.
Let's talk about Peter Rosalita. He was the first act of the night. He's in a tough spot being the first act of the night. Um, he's the young boy, young gentleman. What is he, 10, 11?
10, 11. Yeah, somewhere around there.
His first song was All by Myself by Celine Dion. His quarterfinal song, he sang I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston. And then tonight he's going to sing Without You by Mariah Carey. So he's got his lane, right? The Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, kind of power ballad might be the
He
way to put
he,
it.
he loves the female pop singers.
He does.
Yeah.
He comes out, he's looking very dapper. He's got a blue
I
sequin suit.
love I love his outfits.
He looked great.
Yeah.
And he's gonna do a good job with the song. I said for the first 2/3 of the song it was too low, but then he
Okay.
hit that key change and like it came alive. I really enjoyed him as a singer, and not just as a kid singer, like as a legitimate singer.
Yes.
That last third of the song was, he really came along. It was really, really impressive.
Yeah, even back in auditions, we liked him back in auditions. It seemed a little hokey. This kid singer that was singing Celine Dion, but he has a powerful voice. He's got a great set of lungs. I loved at the beginning when he actually had to start over. I mean, he owned that. He was having trouble hearing the cue for the song when it started, and he actually had to stop them and say, "Hey, can we start over?" Instead of trying to figure out where he was at. He told AGT, "Look, we got to start over," and they did.
Yep.
They put the pencil back in the tape and rewound it and got him back to the beginning, and he took the song and just belted it out.
I don't know that anybody younger than me is going to know what you're talking about, sticking the
I
pencil
know
in the
that was
tape.
I did that on purpose. I want to see what our listeners are, the demographic for our listeners. I was trying to test them on that.
Okay. Well, I definitely buried the lead on that one, because that is possibly the most memorable thing about his performance was, it's the first act of the night and we come on and the crowd's cheering and the music starts and he misses his cue or doesn't hear it, whatever. Stop. Can we start over? They start over and he really does, he shakes it off and then he delivers a really, really good performance. Um, Fun to watch. He looked sharp. As far as like the stage production of it all, the blue suit and like the blue lights around him, he kind of got lost a little bit.
Hmm.
But all in all, this was a really enjoyable performance.
Yeah.
Do you have more to say before we talk judges' comments?
No, I just thought it was a really good way to start off the show.
Yes. Yeah. It kind of let us know what we're in for here. Heidi said, "Your voice is as powerful as you are adorable." With the hiccup at the beginning, you held it together and it sounded amazing. Sophia said, "What happened at the beginning showed me that you showed me the command you have on the stage. The song was spectacular." Simon said, "I loved that performance. The fact that you knew you missed the intro, then took control on the live show, I thought, good for you." And Howie said, "I can't think of a better way to start tonight's semifinals than with you. You did better. You did better than somebody 10 times your age."
Yeah. So better than someone 100 years old.
That's what he said. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
So, um, yeah, maybe 3 to 4 times your age is kind of the sweet
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
But
Let's kind of cut that in a third there, Simon. If we
how he
brought a
said,
hundred
yeah.
year old, if we brought 100-year-old out and they're belting out Mariah Carey, I'm all on board with that.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
absolutely did better than 100-year-old singing that song. Howie's not wrong. It's just
The math
like,
is bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I can also sprint faster than 100-year-old, or uh, you name, like there's a lot of things that I'm better at than 100-year-old people.
Yes.
Um,
Not living. I'm not as good as at living longer than 100-year-old, but
okay,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Still got a long ways to go on that one.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. So that's Peter Rosalita. Great start to the show. I'm thinking after the first act, he's got a pretty decent chance of finding his way through to the finals. He was memorable with that little hiccup.
Yep.
He was quality entertainment. He's a kid singer. I'm thinking you might have a chance, even though you're in
Yeah.
that first spot. What they call that, the death spot,
The death
killer.
spot. The death spot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we can go ahead and ruin the surprise now. He unfortunately does not end up going through to the finals.
America, come on. What's going on? God.
So this is one commenter. Did he have 6 acts in this week?
He
And
did. Yep.
that was one that he lost. Well, a point that he lost. So that's Peter Rosalita. End of the line for him. Any
Yep.
Any eulogy? Anything we want to say about Peter?
Yeah. In our rankings, we had him 4th overall. So we had him 4th.
On the bubble, at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
So,
5 go through. You're right. So he's,
yep. So there you go. Peter Rosalita. All right. Second act of the night. Let's talk about Michael Winslow. He's coming off of my draft board. He's the famous voice instrumentalist. He is going to find himself on the actual bubble. We'll talk about that at the end. In his video package, he talked about how he kind of like blacked out before his quarterfinals performance, and like it all kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
He didn't really sound all that coherent in his production and his telling of his story in the quarterfinals. This performance, I think, was a lot better.
Yes.
He said, "How many noises can I make in 2 minutes?" And he had a variety of scenes or sets or whatever kind of for the judges to pick from. And so Simon picked animals, and then Michael does like a howling dog and a cooing pigeon and a monkey and a tiger and an elephant. Sophia wanted ocean noises, so there was waves and there was a ship's horn and there was like a really cool sound of like divers diving into the water and like the bubbles coming up around them. I thought that was really cool. Dolphins and whales. Heidi said video games, and so he started with like a dial-up modem sound, and then
I loved that.
pretty classic like video game sounds. Howie did hardware, so he got a sprinkler and a cappuccino machine and a handsaw and a vacuum. So he made a lot of noises. The judges, I think, enjoyed the fact that they got to interact a little bit. It was more It was in the style, was it Tom Cotter that did the, like,
Yes.
you tell me the setup
Yep.
uh for the jokes that I'm going to do, and then he was able to make the build his set off of that. So it's
Yep.
very much in that same vein, which I think was the step in the right direction for him. Um, does one of his noises that he made stand out to you as one of the very best?
I thought the modem was probably the most spot on. It's the most nostalgic thing. It seems like that beeping and squelching sound is kind of a sound that he's very known for. Uh, the others, they sounded good, but they didn't sound realistic. I thought that was the most realistic sound that he made. This performance seemed way smoother than the last one. I like the concept of allowing the judges to participate. I think last week it just felt like he was doing sounds of LA, but it didn't feel very cohesive. This
Yeah.
felt a little more cohesive, but I felt he went too long on the first one, the animals, which was the first one. I think he went a little long on that one. They literally had him on a clock, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, how many can I do? And he spent a majority of or a lot of the time, not majority, but a
Yeah.
lot of the time on animals. Then he went to Sophia, and then Sophia spent a ton of time trying to figure out what was going on.
Right.
So that wasted probably 10 or 15 seconds, trying to get her back on track. Um, I don't remember did you write down all the categories? Because
Uh,
I felt the video
yeah.
games was the most fun.
Animals, ocean, video games, and hardware.
No, no, no. There were like 8 of them.
Oh no, I didn't get the other ones. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can I've got the episode up here. Let me see if I can get to that.
Okay.
But the video games one sounded the best. The animals and the ocean was probably the lamest one of the four that they selected. Um,
I feel exactly the opposite. I thought that
okay.
video games wasn't the best, because
Okay.
like the sound of Mario jumping and hitting a block is a very specific sound that I've heard way more times than I'd like to admit.
Yes.
And like if it's not that sound, I know it, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of the video game sounds. I was like, oh, okay, I get what you're going at, but it's not that sound. I felt like the ocean was the one that was the very best. I thought
Okay.
the divers going into the water and the sound of like when you jump into the water and you hear like when you're submerged and you hear the bubbles going up around, like he captured that somehow. I was like, oh, that's uncanny. So I I feel just the opposite, and I guess that's kind of
Okay.
the beauty
Yeah.
of it. But
Okay.
uh,
Yeah. So he did instruments, human, hardware, animals, ocean, transportation, and video games.
okay, I would have asked for instruments.
Yes.
Very yes,
Yes.
very much
Yes.
so.
And it's the first one. It's top left. Animals was bottom left. So I don't know why they went with that one.
When I listen to music, I'm often trying to tune into the instrumentation,
Uh
and
huh.
like, oh, is that a clarinet, or oh, that might be like that's a soprano sax, not a clarinet, or oh, that's a French horn, not a like so like my brain definitely cues into that, and I would really have loved to heard what he did with instruments.
Yep. Yep. I hope we can hear more of it. I liked this concept. I thought it was much more interactive. The judges didn't do a very as good a job as we probably wanted them to pick the categories, but it was better than the first two performances.
Yeah.
Yep.
uh this was his best performance. He's going to end up on that bubble, the 4 5 6, and then America's going to vote one of them through. The judges are going to select from the last two which one's going to go through, and unfortunately Michael Winslow is going to end up in the bottom of that 4 5 6 bubble, and he's not going to make it through to the finals.
Yeah. When I saw who he was up against, first off, when we get to it, I was very annoyed at America for the two that ended up in that bubble. But when I saw who he was up against, I'm like, Michael Winslow's going home. I mean,
It's
so
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, I had 3 acts from my draft in there, and seeing him on the bubble against those 2 acts is like, well, okay, that's
yeah,
trouble for me.
yeah.
um
In our rankings, we had him 10th. You had him the highest.
well, yes, because I'm the most accurate. Uh, no, I'm really proud of him. I thought he was
Okay.
he had his best act. I thought there was memorable things about it. He is such a unique talent. I don't People don't do this. Like this is
Yeah.
new. So
Yeah.
um, I loved it. I'm not surprised that he ended up getting eliminated because it is such a strange thing. It's not something that people seek out. But I'm proud of him. I'm glad for the point that I got for him getting through to the semis. And yeah, Sophia said, I was memorized. You are so good at this. I love that you made it this far. I'm glad America wanted you here. Simon said, I respect you for entering this competition. You looked nervous last week and were funnier this week because you were more relaxed. This was more clever having the categories this week. Howie said, I've always thought you were brilliant. I love that you chose to do something interactive. You engage this audience and America. Heidi said, I love watching you. I love hearing the whole audience laugh. So I think the judges enjoyed him, but I would say they don't expect him to go through based on those comments.
Yep. Agreed.
All right. Third act of the night. This is one off of your draft board. Surprise, Beyond Belief Dance Company, our wild card.
Yeah. So I was glad to see someone from my team back, obviously, but this was a big shock to see them come back. It was almost like the others after they were eliminated immediately went and got other gigs, and this was the only group that was willing to come back.
Yeah, maybe.
So
If you had your choice, can you tell me maybe who off of your group you would have preferred come?
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a couple. Dope Took would have been high on my list.
Okay.
I'd like for Storm to have another wild card appearance. I thought that would have been fun.
Okay.
And then maybe as a third option, the Curtis family C notes,
Okay.
and give them another chance.
Yeah, I think Curtis family is maybe who I'd like to have seen.
Mhm.
Give them one more shot at putting up putting up something. Um, but no, I like you said, maybe they're the ones that didn't have something else going on.
Yeah.
They hadn't parlayed their time on AGT into some gigs. Unfortunately, they made it this far. They're not going to make it through again. Um, they tell us in their video package that they're going to step it up for the semis.
Yeah.
So that's they're gonna do
I'm
better.
glad. I'm glad they're not slacking off for the
Yep.
semis.
They tell us that they're wearing their Heelys.
Yes. I didn't even know Heelys were still a thing.
If I could find some in my size, I think I'd
You,
hurt
you would,
myself. But
yeah, you would definitely sport the Heelys, Jay.
I'd like sliding down the. I'm a substitute teacher, and like if I slid into the classroom like that, like I'd have those kids wrapped around my finger. Right?
Yes.
Those middle schoolers would be like, "Oh, Mr. Box here. Oh, sweet. He's so cool with his Heelys and stuff." Um, okay, so like they're they've cornered the 5 to 12-year-old girls vote. Like
Okay.
my 7-year-old daughter would have loved this.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
I didn't. They do nothing for me. It,
Yeah.
I kind of wish they had incorporated their Heelys more into their dance because I
Uh-huh.
think that there's something there, but that's doing something different than what they're capable of doing, right?
Yeah.
The yeah, it's not my thing. I was
Yeah.
kind of disappointed to see them back. I was kind of disappointed in the performance that they gave us. It's fine. It, for a group of young girls dancing, it's fantastic. But I don't want to see it. I'm bored by it. Um, do you have thoughts on it?
I mean, yeah, the performance was better than two previous performances. They did seem, I've kind of got it up here and I've watched it a couple of times now. They seemed a little more in sync this time. Okay, so I'm gonna go with my technical evaluation that they
Okay.
seemed way more in sync this time than they were previously. They seemed way more excited this time, more flashy. They did incorporate the Heelys a couple of times. So they said they were going to do Heelys. They did Heelys. They had a little ice cream truck kind of in the background. So they were more colorful, flashy. The dance moves, I mean, they're great dance moves for kids. Um, I'm not sure. I'm maybe chat kids are probably doing these same dances, but with like three times the people.
And three times higher because they're
Yeah.
they're bigger, right? They have more
Yeah.
muscles and they can
Yeah.
throw higher and jump higher and
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, they're cute little girls. They're cute kids. You're right. They've got the 5 to 12 market. I don't know if 5 to 12-year-olds can vote. They maybe get their parents to vote for them. I don't know. But I was glad to see them back because they gave me a point for the quarterfinals. I wanted to see them go through just because I could get another point for the semifinals, but I didn't want them to take another spot from another act that is better than them, that I enjoy more.
All right, fair enough. All right, so that's Beyond Belief Dance Company. Heidi said, I love you girls so much. I was so sad when you were voted off, and I'm so happy we brought you back. Howie said, you got turned down, and now you're back. You rose to the occasion, and you delivered. Sophia said, you deserve to be here. You made it, and that's what counts. Simon said, there were a lot of acts that could have been the wild card, but your sense of optimism, it's fun, and that's what the world needs. So we brought you back for your optimism.
Yep.
No matter what I say, they're not going to get down, and good on them.
Yeah. We had them ranked 11th. We had them last overall. Commenter had them. You and I had them 11th. He had them 10th.
Ahead of who? What would he?
He had Michael Winslow at 11.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, yeah. I had Michael Winslow at 10 and them at 11. He had Michael Winslow at 11 and them at 10.
Why'd you have Michael Winslow so low?
Well, I just thought there were others that were better.
Everybody?
So,
Jeez.
well,
Okay.
everybody but this group. But yeah.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Let's talk our next act. Fourth act of the night is Aiden Bryant. He's on AGT commenters team. He is the self-taught aerialist whose mother will help him by raising and lowering him using their lawnmower.
Only in practice, not during the show.
In practice.
Yes.
I would love it if she was on the stage with the lawnmower.
Could you imagine just like right at the beginning of the show, you all of a sudden hear the lawnmower crank on?
Yes, I'd love that.
Maybe for the finale, he'll do it outdoors and we'll see that.
I don't see why they couldn't bring the lawnmower on the stage.
Yeah.
It really.
I think there would be some carbon monoxide issues that would happen in that closed environment.
Dolby Theater is so large, not a chance. All right, so he's going to use, I don't know what the apparatus is called, but it's 3 hoops that are like fashioned together, welded together to make like a sphere. So there's like one that runs vertically one way, one that runs vertically perpendicular to it, and then one that runs around there, the equator of it to make a sphere. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys on the podcast feed, but on the YouTube feed, you're going to see exactly what that looks like.
And if you want to go out and look at our Twitter feed, I've got GIFs of all these acts and
oh yeah, there you go.
There's
perfect.
Yep.
All right. So
or GIFs, whichever you prefer.
I prefer GIFs because
Whatever,
GIF is peanut butter that already has like
Sure.
a meaning in my brain, and I apparently don't love homonyms.
Sure.
I don't know.
Okay.
So there's a GIF of that out there.
Yeah.
All right. He does a few different tricks. It raises and lowers him, and he spins. He did one where instead of spinning from the sphere itself, he was hanging on to the rope above the sphere, and then instead of the axis being on the sphere, it was separate while they kind of rotated around each other. They did another trick where he hung a piece from the bottom of the sphere and like put that rope around his the back of his neck, the back of his head, and he spun that way. Um, it was pretty cool. I'm not sure that he's a great aerialist. His story counts for a lot, right? The amateur aerialist. If he were a professional aerialist, I've been doing this for 20 years. This is my livelihood. I work at Cirque du Soleil. I live in Vegas, whatever. Um, I'm not sure that it has the same panache as I'm an amateur aerialist, and I like saw this going on, and I wanted to explore it, and I've taught myself a couple things over the last couple of years. That goes a lot further with America. It's such a unique thing to be passionate about, to be interested in, and to be as good as he is as an amateur is quite the thing. What do you think of his performance?
Yeah, he spins, and we've talked about this every week. He spins so fast. He spins so fast. He's one of the fastest spinners we've ever seen. I think he's a great aerialist. I mean, we've seen quite a few aerialists over the years. I think he's great. He doesn't have some of the contortionism that we've seen with some other aerialists, but the fact that he can spin, he's used a different apparatus every week, so he's got versatility. He
Yep.
hasn't stuck with just a hoop or just silks or whatever. He's used different things, so we know that he can again, he's got that versatility where he can pull out pretty much anything and do a performance. I don't know if you did you catch the song that was playing.
Um,
uh
yes.
yes,
I
you
don't
could
remember
kind
what
of,
it was,
yeah, it was
but it
larger
was
than
an
life.
instrumental version of Larger Than Life.
Larger
That's
than
right.
life,
Yep.
yes, and I thought that was great because he had bass drums that were kind of playing it, but you could kind of hear every now and then you'd hear kind of the chorus to Larger Than Life in there, and he had fire going on. He's definitely got the production. This kid's great. uh yeah, I think he's definitely a favorite to win. It'd be, and I wouldn't be unhappy if he won this show.
I I would be surprised if he won. I don't see him
Okay.
as the front runner.
Okay.
And you can check the power rankings. I'm sure I had him lower than both you and Commenter on that.
You did. We had him second and third, and you had him sixth.
Yeah, I had him out of the running.
Yeah.
We've seen so many aerialists, and I don't like the only thing that sets him apart is his story.
Okay.
I would say he is as good as other aerialists, but we haven't seen an aerialist win. Like we haven't seen an aerialist in the top five. I don't think he's.
Where did Alan Silva finish last year?
I think he made the
Uh,
finals, but
yeah.
I don't think he was top five. I don't specifically recall. And I think Alan was more memorable and more interesting to watch than Aiden was. Um, but while you look that up,
Fifth,
I'll
fifth place. Fifth place.
okay, all
Top
right,
five. Top
okay.
five. Fifth
We've
place.
we've had an aerialist sneak into the top five. Okay, Sophia said you get better and better. It's so creative. It's like watching a Vegas show. This time was so smooth. Like in commenting about how his critique last time was how it took him a little bit to move from set to set. This time he was much quicker, much smoother. You know, he gets put down and sort of reattaches to the apparatus, and then he gets put down and reattaches a different way and spins. So this was smoother. She's right about that. Simon
Yeah.
said, "I was on
Sorry.
my feet."
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
Jay. Real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to kind of go back to the power rankings real quick. I probably could have waited till you finished, but uh, you've been consistent. I guess we've all been consistent in the way that we have ranked him.
Okay.
Okay, because you had him sixth this week.
Yep.
Last week, last just quarterfinals, you had him fifth. All of us had him first. I had him first. Commenter had him first. Jess and Sarah had him first. So even the ones that haven't watched AGT knew where he ranked. And then in auditions, where did we have him? Let's see, Aiden. In auditions, we had him third in audition one. I had him second, you had him fourth, and Commodore had him third.
Okay. So
Uh,
I'm consistently
you,
ranking him lower.
yeah, yeah, you keep getting lower and lower each week.
Uh, because he's against stiffer and stiffer competition. It's
Okay,
but okay.
okay,
Simon said, I was on my feet because how could you not? You're 16, you're self-taught, you stepped it up. This was a gold medal performance. Howie said, I was beyond impressed. I was a little critical last time. This was so smooth in the transitions. That was a wow moment. Heidi said, I love you. You continue to impress all of us. So pretty high praise from the judges. I'm just not there. I don't know exactly why I'm not as high. He just doesn't grab me, I guess, the way he does the rest of America. And he is in fact going to go through to the finals. So um, not a surprise the way I hear you guys talk about him. I'm just not. I'm apparently just lower on him than everybody else.
okay. Well, he did get in the top three.
He did.
Yep,
He wasn't even on the bubble. He was top three.
yep.
All right, let's talk Tori Vagasi. She is our party princess singer. She's on my draft board. She in her video package, she talks about how she and her sister asked her to audition with her for a role in a musical, and they cast Tori's sister and some other girl as her twin instead of Tori herself, because back then Tori wasn't good enough. So I thought that was kind of a nice story for her to tell, a little bit self-deprecating and like, look how far I've come. She's going to sing Can You Feel the Love Tonight from The Lion King. She looks great. She's got like a golden dress on. I love the song choice. Like
Mm-hmm.
this one, like that kind of grabs me right in the nostalgia.
Yep.
It stirs it up in me a little bit.
Yep. When
Uh,
this came out, I had the CD. I mean, I have it today, but when it came out, I got the CD. This album, the soundtrack was on constant play back in the day. I mean, just constant play.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you think of her rendition? What did you think of her performance of it then?
I liked it. I thought it was really, really good. I'm glad she went back. She did Disney, then she did Broadway because she wants to be on Broadway. Then she went back to Disney. I liked it. I know they said that it's a safe choice, but I mean, this is kind of what she does. This is her wheelhouse. Um, I mean, the yellow dress. You look like the Lion King. She looked like Simba or Nala. So I thought I don't know if she nailed it, but I really liked it. I thought it was good.
I thought it was really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Like I said, the nostalgia kind of rose up in me a little bit. It's like
Yep.
I was just leaning into it and enjoying it. Um, it is it a safe choice? Sure, right? Like
Yeah.
when you watch the home run derby, right? They throw them balls that they want to hit out of the park, right?
Yes.
Like that's kind of
Yes.
the point. Uh, you want to tee something up that you can really do a good job at, and
Yeah.
that's what she did. Did you notice the pyrotechnics on the stage?
I didn't notice it for her. Kind of
Oh
got it
yeah.
pulled up. Yeah, I'm pulling. I mean, there's a lot of lasers going on. I kind of got that pulled up.
Well, I may
Yeah,
have
I'm
pointed
I'm
to
not seeing. It must have been
pyrotechnics.
close to the end. No, I don't. I didn't see any.
All right.
I must have missed it. I must have missed it.
Okay. There was fire on the stage. It was good.
Points for me.
Simon said, Tori, you made it through to the semis. You recognize your competition. I think that's hard when you follow Aiden, who did something truly spectacular. I don't know what he's talking about. Uh, he said, you did something good, but it was too safe for the semis. Howie said, you're an amazing singer with an amazing voice. I think you've got great talent on the wrong show. The show is about variety. Heidi said, any Broadway stage would be lucky to have you, and we're lucky to have you on the AGT stage. Sophia said, you belong on Broadway. I do think you stepped it up tonight. You are perfection. So, I a lot of the same that we've heard from the judges before. You're very good. I'm not sure that this is the right place for you. Um, but heck, the Lion King has a stage show. Uh,
Yes, they literally have a
maybe,
Broadway show.
just maybe, like in the Venn diagram of like Tori Vagasi sings Disney and
Yes,
Disney Broadway show, like
yes,
there's some
yeah.
crossover here. So
There's a Lion King. There's an Aladdin. I'm trying to think. I think there's another two or three, one or two Disney Broadway shows.
yeah, no, I have seen the Lion King on
Yes,
their professional stage production.
yes, yeah. It's
Enjoyed the heck out of
fantastic.
it.
Yes.
Um, the so I'll tell this story real quick.
Okay.
I went to go see this with my family. I think it was our Christmas present from my parents. So we went to go see it in Omaha, and my brother-in-law, who is my wife's husband, is like the least
Wait,
musical of us.
your
I'm
wife's
sorry,
husband?
my
Wouldn't
my
that be you?
sister's. No, 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 no.
Okay.
Ah, I said that wrong. My sister's husband.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, like he is not an actor. He is not a thespian. He is not a musical person. Um, but he walked out of that like the props, the stage production, the way that they changed scenes, the costuming, like he was all about how things were built. And he's a construction worker, and he walked away from The Lion King like as he enjoyed it as much as anybody for totally different reasons. But I think he might have enjoyed it more than any of the rest of us, which was the surprise of the night for me. And if you have an opportunity to see it, even if you don't think you're going to
Yes.
enjoy it, that is one worth seeing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing that different people can take it, can enjoy it in different ways and take away things in different ways.
Yes.
Yes.
But the way the costumes are built, the way that
Yep.
the uh, sets are built, it's all really, really fascinating. So,
Yep.
good job on Tori Vagasi. I enjoyed her quite a bit. I'm pretty sure I ranked her higher because
Number two.
I had her
Number
number two. Dang.
Number two.
Okay. Well,
defend yourself.
Nostalgia.
Okay.
She was the singer that connected with me the most.
Okay.
None of the other singers connected with me as good as she did.
Okay.
So that's my defense. Where'd you rank her?
I had her 8th and Commenter had her 7th.
8th. So, defend yourself.
Yeah, I don't have to defend myself. I liked it. Again, it was good. It wasn't great. She didn't nail it, but I thought it was a really good version of The Lion King.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
So that put her 6th overall.
6th overall. Okay.
Yeah.
She in fact doesn't end up being eliminated. It is another point that I did not get for Tori Vagasi.
Yeah.
Let's talk
at this level, Jay. You get 2 points.
Oh, okay.
2 points at this level.
Oh, next week I am going to destroy you guys. You are in trouble. Okay. All right. We'll wait until then though. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk World Taekwondo Demonstration Team. This is the 6th act of the night. We are smack dab in the middle of the episode. They were Terry Crews' Golden Buzzer, and they are going to end up on that 4, 5, 6 bubble, along with Michael Winslow.
Yes. Do you think that Terry Crews enjoys letting us know that this is his golden buzzer?
Yes. Yes, I do.
It's like every chance he gets, my golden buzzer, mine.
He's the host, right? he gets an opportunity to shine a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Well, more than just his suits.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Those do shine. Okay. World Taekwondo Demonstration Team. They're going to do a lot of what we've seen before. It's a lot of breaking boards and a lot of shrapnel. But they do more, like not just more of the same, but like it more. They do more of it.
Yes. Yes.
I'm trying to make this make sense, but I'm just saying the same words. So they do it blindfolded. Three
Yes.
different guys are blindfolded. One, they like lead the guy over to the boards that are being held, and he kicks the boards. The
Well,
second,
not just lead them over with a bell.
with a bell. Yep, they
Yes.
ring a bell and lead
Yes.
them to the
Yes.
spot that they need
It's
to
not like
kick.
they walk them up to the board and say, "Here's the board."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second guy, they ring the bell over to where another team member is going to help them like get hoisted up in the air. And so he like runs at him, throws the boards up, gets hoisted up in the air, and then kicks the board while doing a backflip, blindfolded. And then the third one does the same thing the second guy did, uh, where the guy's going to help him do a backflip, but instead of breaking one board, he breaks like 7 boards that are held in the shape of an arch. While he's, so while he's blindfolded, he gets thrown up, does a backflip, and kicks 7 boards, and and then lands on his feet like a professional or something. Um, One guy jumps and breaks boards individually. Then he does a backflip and breaks 2 more board that are held like 6 feet up in the air. A guy breaks, they love hanging the boards way up high, 10, 12 feet in the air, and hoisting them up or having them jump up and hit those. A guy does like spins across the stage, and he like jumps and spins and kicks and kicks and kicks and kicks, and he breaks 10 boards or so that way. Finally, we get to some boards that are held 10, 12 feet in the air, and 3 guys are hoisted up simultaneously to kick the boards. And when it does, it reveals signs that say goodwill, cooperation, and service, which again kind of gets to the heart of what World Taekwondo does, right? It's not about fighting, but it's about cooperation. It's about service. It's about peace, not fighting, not war. I love the message. I love what these guys do. They are so ridiculously good at this. I do think there were a handful of boards that they attempted to kick, that they attempted to break, that they didn't. But it's still just
90, not a
spectacular.
95% accuracy level, Jay.
It's really, really good. What do you think of their performance? What stood out to you?
Yeah, they've grown a lot on me since the first time. I think the first time I was like, I want to enjoy this, but I wasn't for sure about it. But I've really grown and learned to enjoy this group. They're so explosive. They're so accurate. Uh, would would Pierce X them for missing a board?
I sure hope not. I think this
Okay.
is the kind of thing where he's like, even though you missed it, it was still really, really good.
Yeah. Going 10, 12 feet in the air is really good. The message they have is really good. I'm surprised no one has splintered their eye out with all the shrapnel that's flying everywhere. Um, yeah, they're definitely a front runner. This was another group that made me nervous during the results show.
Yeah. So I will say, like, I call them boards, the things that they break, but I'm
Yeah.
not sure that they are boards. They're props that look like boards, maybe.
You think
Because
so?
they are not hard to break. I think that
Okay.
they could accidentally break these pretty easily.
You think they're already broken and they just when they kick them, they're made to
It might
they're
be
they're
styrofoam.
breakaway props.
Yeah, it might be
Yeah.
styrofoam. It might be something else. I think that the sometimes I think it might be like 2 sides of styrofoam with like confetti in between them, and
Okay.
they bust that, the confetti goes flying too. Like, but I don't really care
No,
because
don't care.
the acrobatics of it all is so fun to watch. Um, uh, Judge's comments, how he said, "You are my favorite act so far tonight. I could watch this for 2 hours straight. It deserves to be watched in slow motion again and again. You're dancers, athletes, acrobats, entertainers. You're absolutely everything." So that's some pretty high praise from Howie.
So I gotta question America. America, what are you thinking putting this group in the instant save?
Yeah, these guys end up on the bubble.
Yes.
Um, and then they don't even get America's vote off the bubble. They end up
No.
needing the judges to put them through over Michael Winslow. Um,
Yeah. But once again, once I saw that World Taekwondo, and we haven't got to the other one yet, right? No,
no,
because
not yet.
he's later on.
He's last.
But yeah, Michael World Taekwondo and when
Michael
Michael
Winslow.
Winslow is in there. Yeah, when I saw that they were in it, I'm like, well, yeah, still Michael Winslow's going home, but still, they shouldn't have
Yeah.
even been in this position in the first place.
Well, there's three that are going to go through automatically, and
Yes,
like that's not very many.
no, but looking at the two others that I don't think should have gone through, um,
All right.
yeah,
Okay.
or at least it should have been flip flopped, where they should have gone through automatically, and then there's two others that should have been in that bubble spot.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Heidi said, I love it. I hope you realize how inspiring it is. It's the coolest thing ever, like real action heroes. Sophia said, I think tonight your performance was more dramatic, higher, and harder. You look like synchronized ants. It was amazing.
Synchronized ants.
I I don't know. I thought that was a really fun comparison.
Yeah.
And Simon said, I thought your audition was better than your quarterfinals, but tonight was the best performance you've given us. So pretty high praise from the judges. I mean, Sophia's not going to call just anybody like synchronized ants.
So Sophia was off her game this evening, and while while I'm live tweeting during the show, like there'd be an act on stage or something be going on, all of a sudden I would see a tweet from her come through, and I'm like, Sophia, focus on the show. Don't be tweeting while the show's going on. Wait until commercial break. It's like,
yeah. Okay, so there's World Taekwondo.
So we had them first, number one overall. You and commenter had him one. I had him three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're great. I think they deserve their golden buzzer spot. I think they deserve the finals. They're very, very good. So I'm cool with them being going through. I'm a little disappointed, like you said, that they're. I mean, they probably had to be fourth of the acts, right? 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe America, like all the comments we read about stop having singers on the show. Let's have it, no singers next season. Like at the end of the day, I think America kind of likes singers.
Yeah. No singer. Well, only one singer went through from this show.
Well, all right. That's saying something.
Yeah.
Speaking of singers, shall we talk about Madeline Bailey?
Yes.
She is on Commenter's team. She is going to sing an original song this time called Red Ribbon as a tribute to her late grandmother. So her first song was the like mean tweets, mean comments that she strung together into a song. Her second song, she sang Sia's Titanium. And this time she goes back to an original song, but still another serious one, not a funny one.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I remember when she was funny. I liked that a lot better.
Yes. I thought this was a very touching song. I thought it was a very good tribute to her grandmother. But I want the funny.
Yeah. And
yeah,
that's what I thought she was gonna be.
Yeah.
Not all why so serious. So I kind of felt like this was a misfire. She was put through auditions because she was funny, not necessarily because she was a great singer or a great artist. And then she was put through the quarters because she was funny last time and maybe she'll be funny next time. So I'm thinking she's not going to make it through with another serious song.
Yeah.
And
America was fine. Like, we're done. That's it.
That's enough, Madeline.
Yeah.
And she unfortunately doesn't go through for commenters purposes. No, he doesn't get a point on that one. So Howie said, I don't think that was anything. You're kind of in the same lane as Tori. I responded to the mean tweets. That was quirky and funny and inventive, but this just wasn't anything. Heidi said, this was a hard song to sing, and I think you nailed it. talking about how emotional it was for her. Simon said, "Am I allowed to say arse on American TV? Because Howie's talking out of it. You're true to who you are. You're true to who you are. I'm so proud of you. I have so much respect for you." Um, so that's that's I don't know if we need to bleep that for when you go back in production here, but
Yeah, I think we're good.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
So high praise from Simon and Heidi. Howie was a little more like, I don't know. Um, if she had been more memorable,
Yeah.
sung something, nostalgic for us. I don't know. Funny, right? Stick with the funny songs, and I think that she's could very much end up in the finals, but that one wasn't going to do it for me.
No, I thought it was a fine song. I thought the song was very good, but again, I just want the funny. We put her seventh overall. I had her fifth. Uh, you had her ninth, and commenter had her sixth.
I had her ninth.
You had her ninth.
Yeah, it didn't
Yeah.
connect. It didn't do
Yeah.
anything for me.
Yeah.
So
No
um,
nostalgia there.
I'm not surprised to see her eliminated. Um, I enjoyed her. Yeah, I will say that, especially her first song. I
Yeah.
thought was a really really fun song, a really great idea, really well executed. It was all around really enjoyable. That first one, and then she just never quite had that magic again for her second or third performance.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk Dustin Tavella. Did you have your clock running? Because I'm always curious
I
how long
did.
some of these run.
Yep. Give me a second.
All right. Dustin Tavella, he's our magician. He's another one off of Commenter's team. He is going to do a magic trick. Simon, pick a marker out of the cup in front of you. Simon picks a purple marker. Sophia, pick a postcard from in front of you. It's the Venice postcard. Heidi writes the word curious with the purple marker on the Venice postcard. Howie chooses the green envelope to put the Venice postcard with the word curious written in purple marker on it. Terry Crews is going to come on stage. He's going to tear off a corner of the card, and then Dustin is going to take it, put it in a can, and burn it. And wouldn't you know it? Can we bring Heidi's X down from the rafters? And I'm going to reach in the back of this X, and here I'm going to retrieve this very postcard that you guys just wrote on and everything. Um, and then out of his pocket, he pulls some papers that say all the things the judges picked. It was a message from his wife. Even if Simon doesn't pick the purple marker, and Sophia doesn't pick the Venice postcard, and Heidi doesn't write curious, and Howie doesn't choose the green envelope, I'll still love you. Like, this is one of those tricks that we've seen dozens of
So
times.
many times. So many times we've seen this trick. Yes.
We've seen this trick. I don't know how this trick is done.
Yeah.
But we've seen it.
I did like the twist of bringing the X down from the rafters. That was new. I mean, it was still the same reveal, but it was still kind of cool that they integrated the X into the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, pour all the ingredients in, stir it in, add an X coming down from the ceiling. Pour all the
Yeah.
ingredients in, stir it
Yeah.
around, and add a chainsaw. I don't like it. It's
Yeah.
the same trick. It doesn't
It is.
really.
It is the same trick. Yes.
Okay. So we've
Yes.
seen this done time
So
after
many
time over the
times.
years.
Yes.
Okay. Um, I, on the other hand, I find Dustin pretty likable.
Yes.
I'm getting a little bit weary of the like tearjerker, sentimental stories, like that character. This overly emotional kind of thing, but it's worked for him so far. I don't know that I would change it at this point, Dustin. Um, what'd you have for a timestamp on Dustin?
So overall on-screen time over under 9.5 minutes.
9.5? Does that include the introduction
That's
video?
that's total time on screen. Yes, that's everything.
Oh, geez, that still feels like a lot. I'm gonna say under.
9:42.
No way. Was that the longest of the night?
Oh yeah.
Okay, how long was the
Uh,
actual act?
6:38.
Jeez, Louise. You know, we had a clock on stage for Michael Winslow at 2 minutes flat, and he might have
Yeah,
gotten two and a half with sort of
Michael
stuff around
Winslow.
it.
Michael Winslow 241.
Yeah. So him
Yeah,
setting up like I'm gonna see how many noises I can make in 2 minutes and yada yada yada, start the clock. It makes sense that it would be, somewhere over 2 minutes. But this was how long again? Six?
6:38. I'm looking back at his others. His quarterfinal performance 5:42, and his audition, he was close to the end, wasn't he? His audition was gotta find it.
Well, I'll say
Oh,
they've
he's an
been
audition one. He was close to the front. 5:54 was his performance time in auditions.
so this is his longest one. They've been
Yeah.
very generous with the screen time for Dustin
Yeah.
Tavella.
Yeah. Well, and they had to be a little more generous. We were one less act than we were in quarterfinals. So that means each performance got a little bit longer.
Yes.
Um,
As well they
which I'm
should. Like
as well they should. Yes. Yeah.
that's well designed.
Yeah.
But man, that's a lot of time. That is not 2 minutes. That is not a 90-second audition. Like that's
No, yeah, but if we look at the magicians and these mentalists and those type things, I mean, they get time. Peter Antonio, 8.5.
yeah.
Um, where was another one? Yeah, I don't have any others. I guess he's the only other magician.
Who's the
Yeah.
escape artist one? He had plenty
Oh,
of screen time too, but
yeah, he did. Was he in quarter? Yeah, Matt Johnson. 3:35
for just the performance,
for just the
right?
performance. Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Sophia said, "People are loving you. You are a performer. You are performing better than ever." Simon said, "We have no idea what's going to happen on these live shows. Apart from the magic you do, you're a born storyteller. You make us feel happy and emotional." Howie said, "I love you. You are emotional and magical." So, yeah, he's the most emotional performance of the night. The most, I want to say saccharine, but like it's not necessarily sweet. It's just like he just keeps like pushing you in the feels, right? Just keeps.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but you know what? He's pretty good at it.
Yeah.
America
He's
likes it.
Yeah. He doesn't really have any like hiccups. Like I mean, there was a little thing here, like when they talked about, hey, bring Heidi's X down. And Sophia was like, what? They're bringing Seal in. And so, but he kind of rolls with it. He doesn't really have any times where it feels like he's messed up or he has to, he rolls with things very easily.
Yeah, and like there was a little hiccup there. Howie apparently is colorblind,
Yes.
and
Yes.
he told him to pick a color envelope. He's like, I don't know, I'm colorblind, it doesn't matter. So there you go.
Yep.
um
Real quick on some timing things. The average time for performance for the night, 3:05. So it's
oh
right at
wow.
that, the average time right at 3 minutes, which is
Hmm.
kind of what we anticipate. But someone had to, some had to sacrifice for him to have a six and a
Six
half
and a
minute
half,
show.
yeah.
Yeah. So Beyond Belief was a little less than two. Um, and a lot of others were less than three, um, so he could have that. World Taekwondo is almost 3.5, but everyone else
Wow,
got under three.
that's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, I mentioned I'm a substitute teacher. I was doing some middle school math today, and I was talking about mean, median, range, and mode, and different situations, right? Where in the median you're going to have outliers. Your extremes aren't going to really get factored into your median,
Mm-hmm.
whereas they are going to affect your average. So a little bit of statistics, early statistics for these young minds. But all in all, pretty good stuff. Dustin Tavella is, in fact, he's the one, when they presented them on stage, it was Dustin Tavella or Peter Rosalita, who's going to go through. I think I was thinking at this point, Peter Rosalita might be the one to go through. When
Yes,
it was
absolutely.
Dustin v. Peter.
Yes. We
Um,
had him fifth overall. I had him sixth. You had him fourth. Commenter had him fifth. So he was right on that bubble, but we had Peter Rosalita right above him at fourth.
yeah, fourth, five, and six. We had him right on that bubble, but
Yes.
he exceeded expectations. So good on Dustin. He gets one more chance in the finals. Not bad, not bad for
Yep.
Dustin Tavella.
Question for you, Jake. So
Yep.
if if America had voted hypothetically like we had done our power rankings, and
Okay.
Peter Rosalita, Dustin Tavella, and Tori were in that instant save.
Okay.
Okay. Who from those three gets voted through? Who from those three goes home?
Peter, Dustin, and Tori.
Peter, Dustin, and Tori. If that was the instant save, who from that three goes
Uh,
home?
I fear that Tori goes home. I
I would
think
agree.
that
Yeah.
America would probably vote through one of the other two, and the judges didn't have a lot of good to say about Tori, or
Yeah.
at least two of the four didn't.
Yeah.
So I would expect Tori to be the one to go home.
Yeah. I think I would agree with that. Yeah.
So, um, okay, all right. So that's Dustin Tavella. He gets one more shot at the $1 million.
Yeah.
Next act of the night is Korean Soul. They're the Korean boy band. They tell us a little bit about how their style is not just Korean, but also soul. Uh, this
they
time,
cut they kind of nailed their name.
they you tee it
It's on
up.
point. Like,
Yep. Okay, so Korean Soul. Last time we had made a comment of they were dressed in like the seafoam green.
yes.
I'd seen the joke how they were dressed by the Golden Girls. This time they come out dressed in white. They look, I think, better than last time.
Yep.
The quarterfinals, they sang "I Don't Want to Miss a Thing" from Aerosmith. This time they're going to sing "You Say," Lauren Daigle's "You Say." Is this a song you're familiar with?
No.
Okay, I'm sure I've heard it a couple times.
I may have.
Uh, Overall, I felt like the performance was okay.
Yep.
I had a hard time hearing the vocals over the backing track.
Okay.
So the production wasn't great on it, and that stinks. That like they're clearly a very talented group. They're clearly very good at what they do. And for it just being hard to understand, hard to appreciate it, because it was mixed poorly, that kind of stinks.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you have other comments on the actual performance, the actual song itself?
Not a whole lot. I mean, it was interesting. Simon mentioned that it sounded out of tune to him, and I kind of had the comment that is the sound mixer in the theater different, or is the sound person in the theater mixing it differently than the sound person that's sending it to us at home?
Might have.
Which really wouldn't impact the pitchiness, but it may make it sound that way a little bit to Simon. I thought it was a pretty good song. Not being familiar with it, I thought it was pretty good. I didn't hear what you were hearing. I could hear it just fine, and I didn't hear the pitchiness. And I usually watch it with headphones on,
Yeah.
so I hear all that. The one thing I did enjoy was their package. How they each have their own personality. Where the one guy's the sports guy, one guy's the fixer guy, one
You have the
guy's
fashion guy and
the
the
fashion guy, and you have the muscle
weightlifter
guy.
guy. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So I really like that they've gone with the trope boy band. Each one has kind of their own personality and thing that the fans can latch onto. That was really funny.
Yeah. Man, I remember Conan O'Brien did a fake boy band, the Boys Aplenty, and like okay, you're gonna be the Big Brother type, and like you're this is your pose, right? Every time you guys pose, this is how you pose. And you'd have them sing together, and he would reward them with Ritz crackers of all things. I don't know, like that was no, you didn't earn a Ritz that time. Like just I don't know. I got a kick out of that skit. So that's maybe what Korean Soul's video package reminded me of a little bit. Um, the boys aplenty. So there you go. Simon said the positive, a billion times better song choice than last time, but some of the songs sounded out of tune from here. Um, I don't know that this was a better song choice. I kind of liked
Yeah.
Don't Want to Miss a Thing done
Yeah.
in the Korean Soul style. I think better
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. I think I like the auditions better.
Yeah, audition might have
Yeah.
even been better yet.
Yeah.
Sophia said, I don't know as much about music as Simon, but it sounded amazing to me. Howie said, I'm a fan of yours, and I like the last time and the last song choice better. So another one that disagrees with Simon, but on his other point. Heidi said, I liked this one better. Each of you had a moment to shine this time around. So, again, how they sort of passed the lead part from member to member, how they each had a moment to um, be the front man. So I like Korean Soul. I would not be surprised to see them through to the finals. I would not be surprised to see them eliminated. They are unfortunately going to be eliminated against it was bring Aiden Bryant, Korean Soul, and Madeline Bailey forward. Korean Soul and Madeline Bailey both get eliminated. Aiden Bryant is the one of those three to go through.
Yeah. We had them ninth overall. I had them seventh. You had them 10th. Commenter had them eighth.
Yeah. So 8th, 9th, 10th. Not a surprise to see them eliminated. Unfortunately, that performance just didn't connect with us, apparently.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk Gina Brion. She is on my team. I think my lone points for the night. Our stand-up comedian from the Bronx, our sassy Latina. She talks a little bit about being a mother and having a 1-year-old son. And she says he's saying words now. And the problem with kids is they don't have a filter. They can just walk up to you and tell you you're ugly. And when they do that, it means they feel so strongly about it that they'll just stop whatever they were doing to tell you that you're ugly.
Does this relate to you, Jay?
I've been embarrassed by my kids before. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They lack some social awareness from time to time.
Yep.
Talked about a friend of her who asked me if I was going to lose weight for my wedding. Says no, but I'm going to lose some girlfriends. And then she goes into talking about losing weight and how no, I'm not going to lose weight. I'm going to wear Spanx like a real adult, which I thought was pretty funny. And then she talks about how Spanx are awful to wear and yada yada yada. And somebody comes up to her after her show and says, Spanx sound awful. Why don't you just diet and exercise? It's like, because that sounds awful. So there you go. I thought it was a pretty fun set. Even in my delivery, we were chuckling a little bit, which I think is pretty good material. Then.
Yeah. And this related. I was relating to this a little bit because I have nieces and nephews, and when they were younger, particularly one of the nieces, she would just come up to you and just say, say things to you, and you'd have to say, well, that's not nice, and until you can insert that filter into them and or install the filter into them, they'll just come up to you and just say stuff. So very familiar with this.
Okay.
Thought it was funny.
It's a hard reality out there sometimes.
Yes. Yeah.
Howie said, this is the year of comedy. You are my wife's favorite this year, and you are a superstar. So if America thinks like Howie's wife, that's good news for Team One Man Bander.
If you can get the housewife, that's not no. If you can get the ladies to vote for Gina, I think One Man Bander might wrap this up. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I
Yeah.
don't see her as a winner, but I'm
Yeah.
really happy with her
Yeah.
performance. Heidi said, "I think you're fabulous, like a firecracker. You deserve a spot at the finale." Sophia said, "You're funny and relatable. You're a Latina and my cup of tea. You are a Latina and my cup of tea." Simon said, "I loved the fact that you acknowledged your competition. I was critical of you last time, but I have to admit this time I was the one talking out of my arse." So pretty good high praise from the judges. Um, I'm uh, I'm happy to have her on my team. She was a late draft for me, and
Yes.
she has points through to the finals now. So more points. She's going to go through. When they brought out Beyond Belief Dance Company, Gina Brion and Tori Vagasi, I was thinking, well, I'm hoping they say, and one of you going home is, but unfortunately, the one going through is Gina Brion. I lost the Tori Vagasi point. You lost to Beyond Belief Dance Company, but I'm really thrilled to see Gina going through to the finals.
Yeah, I really I like her. I still don't know if she's. I mean, she may have got. I think she got better this week. And we haven't seen like Josh Blue or Kabir Singh. We haven't seen them yet. Um, but I think she did get better. She was very sassy this week. I thought the jokes were a little more relatable this week. She's apparently been working the comedy clubs pretty hard the last couple weeks. And I think I lost Jay at the 116 mark. So those of you that are watching on YouTube, Jay has frozen and we're waiting for him to come back. And Jay is back.
I'm back.
Yes,
Sorry about
live
the
on
little
YouTube.
glitch there.
And I think it happened again. We're still waiting on Jay. Jay disappeared for a second. And so yeah, I've really liked Gina Brion this week. I thought she did a really good job. She is where's our ranking? So we had her actually eighth. I had her ninth, pretty low. Jay really liked her at third, and commenter also had her at ninth. But yeah, we're gonna see her go through. So this is a big surprise compared to the rankings that we have that she was able to go through. I'm glad she did. I really like Gina. I want to see more comedians in the finals. It's going to be extremely helpful if Josh Blue and Kabir Singh can also get through to the finals in after next week's semifinal. Um, so it'll be great to kind of have 3 spots with out of 10 with comedians. I I don't think that's ever happened. Surely it's never happened where we've had 3 comedians in the finals. We had Tom Cotter and of course Preacher Lawson. We've had them in the finals and coming in. Well, Tom Cotter finishing second. So it'll be good to have um, another stand up comedian. So we're still kind of waiting for Jay to
Cody,
get
you're
his
doing
connection
great
back.
work. Good
Thanks,
job.
Jay. I appreciate that. I'm kind of ad libbing here, and
Uh,
because
I'm
we're still live on YouTube.
I'm
So
going to leave my video off just in case there's
okay,
some bandwidth problem here.
okay,
Um, uh, yeah, great stuff from Gina Brion. Really happy to see her in the finals. Let's talk about our last act of the night. In case things go wonky on us again, we've got from Team Cody, uh, Jimmy Harrod, and he is the other one that's going to end up on that 4, 5, 6 bubble after being a
ah,
golden
ah,
buzzer.
yes,
Um, he's
America. What are
gonna
you doing
sing
to me?
the song "Glitter in the Air" by Pink. Have you ever heard this song before?
I have not. I wonder if it's one of the songs that Pink sang when Aiden Bryant was learning how to do his aerialism.
Yeah, might have been. I don't know. Um, this song, it didn't connect with me. I connected more with Tori and more with Peter. Um,
Okay.
so like, and that's the thing that I've really praised Jimmy for is his song choices, right? The um, Pure Imagination that he sang and the song from Annie that he sang
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. Like both of those were the song choices were just A plus, knock them out of the park, so good. Like those were the ones that hit me right in the nostalgia. This one, I, I don't know the song. I don't care about the song. It's not a show tune. Doesn't do anything for me. And even like he's good, but like I didn't get that punch from Jimmy like we've gotten in the past with his song choices. So I wasn't terribly surprised to see him on the bubble. Um, I also wasn't terribly surprised to see him go through with America's vote when he ended up on the bubble.
Yeah, so it was he must have been right on that bubble anyway with the overall vote. He must have been right on the bubble because once it went to the instant save, I think he was a front runner to get the America's vote almost immediately. And so we pretty much knew he was going to go through to the finals. But he shouldn't have been there in the first place. He should have been one of those that went through. He's been a favorite all season. The judges absolutely love him. I love him because he's my number one draft pick. But I do think he's a great singer. I can see your point where the song he picked didn't connect. Um, he's sang two songs where the nostalgia feels is really kicked in. It's connected with those of us that are familiar with those older movies. It'd have been nice for him to continue to sing that, but he kind of went outside his wheelhouse a little bit, took a risk. Um, we praise Tori for kind of staying in her lane and in her wheelhouse and saying that he took a risk and ventured outside of that a little bit. Maybe I don't know if it bit him or not. Yeah. So I don't,
Yeah,
that's all I really got.
yeah. So uh, again, I wasn't crazy about the song choice. No denying that he's a very good singer, and he's a high tenor at lowest. He has that higher voice, and he has learned to lean into it and sort of make that a feature instead of a liability. Um,
Yeah, I think in the audition you even called him a soprano because I had him listed as a falsetto, but you said it's more of a soprano.
yeah, I think it is his, it's his chest voice that he's using.
Okay.
Um, so Sophia said, "You're a showstopper. You're unbelievable. This is how a semifinal performance should be." Simon said, "You are a master class, an amazing singer. That was incredible." Heidi said, "I'm waiting for your album to drop. Good thing you're last because nobody could follow that." Howie said, "You are by far the best singer in this competition. What you do is perfection." So he's going to fall into that 4, 5, 6 bubble. He's going to get America's vote, um, leaving it up to Michael Winslow and World Taekwondo to duke it out. And of course, World Taekwondo is the one to go through there. So he does make it into the finals, maybe a little bit closer to the middle of the pack than what he would like to see. But I think if he turns around and gives us another one of those nostalgic songs, one of those fun songs that we all know, done in the Jimmy Herod way, he could find himself very close to the top of the pack.
Yeah, I think it's very likely that we could have a winner come out of the instant safe. With Jimmy Herod or World Taekwondo. We had Ryan Niemiller, what finished second, third,
Yeah.
the highest finisher out of a at the Duncan save at the time.
Yep. Yep.
Um, so I think we could even get a winner this season out of that.
I I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah.
Um, he's he's a special talent. He's an attractive young man. He's unique in so many special ways, and just terribly likable. So I like Jimmy. I think you got a good pick with him.
Yep. So we had him third overall. I had him first. Commenter had him second, and you killed the average at eighth.
Well, again, I was ranking these and
Yeah.
trying not to spend too much time on it, but the song didn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
not a great song, not a great song choice for him, and I drug that average down with
Yeah.
my low ranking, but I'm trying not to let his body of work influence my ranking on this particular performance, and this one just didn't stick.
Okay.
There were 7 other performances apparently that I liked better.
Yeah, you liked Michael Winslow better and Gina better and Dustin better.
I even liked Aiden
You even
better,
liked Aiden better. Yes.
which it's believable that I could flip flop those and put him as high as 6 and Aiden at 8, but uh, neither one of those were real memorable acts for me. Um, and again, that's kind of the fun of this whole thing, is what is interesting to me, what sticks with me, what I remember, versus what sticks with America, what America likes, and what you and what commenter like. It's totally cool that we
Yep,
have
it
different
is.
opinions, and that's what makes this whole thing fun.
Yep.
So there you go. That is the 11 acts of the first semifinals. The second semifinals is coming up next week. I've got, is it 5 acts in the second semifinals? You've got a couple. Commenter, I think, has 3. So
Let me pull that up real quick. So I've got hold on a second. So he's got One Accord, Victory Brinker, and Brooke Simpson. I
okay,
have Kabir Singh, Real Chris, and Chap Kids.
okay,
And then you're loaded at Unicircle Flow, Leah Kyle, Northwell Nurse Choir, Josh Blue, and Peter Antonio.
all right. Well, other than Peter Antonio, I think I've got a pretty stacked group here. I'm feeling really good about them going
Yep.
into the next round here. Um, I like Josh Blue, our comedian. I like the Nurse Choir. I like Leah Kyle, our magic quick change. I love Unicircle Flow. Um, I also have Peter Antonio on my team. So he'll at least get some screen time, if nothing else. Um,
uh, so let me ask you this. So his quarterfinal, 8.5 minutes for his performance. Does he go? Let me see. Does he go under? Does he go under 8:20?
golly, I, I have to go with yes. I think
Okay.
I think that in the live shows, especially in uh, you know, as we're getting down to the end here, they've got to hold him, hold his feet to the flame, if you will. And I think they're going to have to keep him a little bit shorter. So
Okay.
I'm going to go with yes, under
Okay. So
820.
he goes under 8:20. Okay. I think it's pretty good call. Do you want to quickly talk about a couple of performances in the results show?
Sure, we can talk about the results show.
Yep.
The what did we have? We had Soji, our kid magician, meet Shin
Yep.
Lim. That was kind of
Yep.
fun.
Yeah.
Anything to say about that?
No.
Okay, all right. It was
It's cool. I mean, it's cool for him to be able to meet one of his heroes.
it was better than Darcy Lynn learns to drive.
Yes. No pun intended. Miles better.
Miles. Yeah, I will put Shoji in the driver's seat on that
Yes.
one. It's okay. Preacher Lawson did a comedy set. Talked a lot about his name, Preacher, being a unique name.
Yeah. I wasn't big on this set, Preacher. I don't think it was one of his best.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Um,
He seems to have changed his mannerisms a little bit. Like I know he's always been an active, like a very active comedian. Like he
yeah,
always moves around the stage a lot, but it seemed different this time. And it seemed even different than even when I saw him in person.
yeah. You saw him live. Um,
Yes.
yeah, he's not just active; he's hyperactive. Like
Yes.
he is a mover and a shaker, man. I don't know. Like he has such a unique name, Preacher Lawson,
Yeah.
and he talks about sort of growing up with the name Preacher, and he talks about, people will try to change it to something that makes sense to them. Richard? Nope. Preacher. Like it's. I thought it was a pretty good set.
Yeah.
Am I missing any other?
Is it Ben Platt? Is that
Ben
his name?
Platt. That's right. That was near
Yeah.
the beginning. He sang a song from Dear Evan Hansen. Um, Apparently, that's a musical that I need to make myself more familiar with because I don't know who Ben Platt is. I know of Dear Evan Hansen, but I have not. I'm not familiar with it.
And I'll say they are promoting the heck out of this because they also did on Big Brother this week. They did a competition where the winner got to see a early release of Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, so is it
And
coming out on video then?
I think it's a movie. Yeah, so I think it's a
Okay.
movie. It's coming out in theaters.
All right. I thought it was a
But
stage production.
I think it was a stage production, and they've now made a theatrical version of it.
Okay. I wonder if it was a book originally or something.
Probably.
Okay. I'll ask my local librarian about that. Um, all right. Well, there you go. That was the um, highlights from the results show. Anything else we need to talk about, Cody?
I don't think so. Again, we've got semifinals 2 next week, or this coming week when you get it when you get this in your feed. Then we have finals, and it's probably a 2-hour final. 2-hour performance, 2-hour result show. There's going to be get prepared. There's going to be a ton of fluff in that result show.
Oh, baby.
So much fluff. We're talking about some things we're going to do for the results show or for the finale week. We'll release more of that information next week. And then right after that, we're going to take I think we're just going to take like a 1 week hiatus just to kind of,
Catch our breath.
recharge, catch our breath. Yeah. We've pretty much been going straight for, since almost Christmas.
Yeah.
So kind of want to take a week off, take care of some things. And then we'll be right into our season 3 rewatch, Jay.
Wow. Yeah,
So,
we'll do season 3. There's going to be AGT Extreme coming up
yep,
sometime during the winter months here.
yep,
You and commenter may have some rewatchables
yep.
that you've got it coming down the pike. We've got hopefully an interview or two. We've done a little crossover with some other podcasts. Hope to maybe have some other guests or be guests on other podcasts. So things are happening over here. We just need you to go, as soon as this podcast is over, grab your phone and go stinking give us a review.
Yeah, and keep us in your feed because we're going to be here for a while. We've still got a lot of AGT that we're really enjoying, that we're breaking down, analyzing, rewatching, whatever it may be. There's a lot to cover, and we're going to be here to put some sounds in your ears. So keep subscribed, because I'm real excited. We're finishing this season up, but then we're going to go back and we're going to revisit Pierce and Sharon and the Hoff again. So it'll be interesting to kind of go back and watch things in a 4x3 format after our wonderful HD session we've had the last couple months.
Yes, we've got the past, present, and future of America's Got Talent right here. So, yeah, with that, let's put a bow on this one. Cody, thank you for all you do, and I'll look forward to talking to you again in a week. I'll look forward to you guys listening again in a week, and I will remind you all to please stay safe.
Have a good night.
Bye.